Hello everybody and welcome for a new Kerbal Space Program video. In this video we will do the most important thing since the beginning. We will go on the moon, and this time it's on the moon, clearly. It's not like when we just go around the moon or just fly around or go just close to the moon. This time we will really go on the moon. So this is the first little rocket to make some science and some money, important because we need a little bit more money before the moon mission. You can directly skip at, I think it's around 3 minutes into the video to have directly the moon mission. So this is a mission with solid boosters because I needed something very cost effective, so I just barely made something with that. It's the first time that I use that, so I'm not pretty used to that, so it's not very efficient, but it flies great and for not so much money, so Jebediah is happy. So this mission, I don't remember why it was for, and so we can just skip to the end of the mission. So we made that we had to make. I think it was a moon orbit or something like this. This is a fail because I tried to get the science, but Jebediah exploded, so I just get back to this point and landed again, if I can say that. So Jebediah is fine, as you can see. He's in the bottom right corner, very happy. It's a little bit cheating, like reuse everything, but it's the game made for that, because if every time you explode something you lost the people in that, it will be really expensive. So you can just let them die and buy new people, but it's Jebediah, you can't just make die this one. So I just prefer losing half an hour of my life and get this to work than just wasting these people and get the mission back. So there's a pretty nice landing. I'm used to land the rocket nice, so except the explosion for just before, but this landed nice on the water. So I tried to test something, but I just messed up. It was on the ground and not on the water, so the mission is not very nice. Here we will make the whole moon rocket, so we need to make the lander, and I'm using some technique. I don't know if someone already used that, but the motor is powerful enough to just propulse this on the moon and get this back. So I just add some fuel tanks on the side that I will just dump on the moon's surface. So this is the moon rocket in itself. So I added two separate, I think it's SRBs, solid rocket boosters, and one big rocket booster with liquid fuel on the middle. So yeah, as you can see, the two solid rocket boosters are with a nice color and a big flame under it. It doesn't go very fast, but it flies and it goes on the right direction. So why I'm using the middle motor right now, it's because I need to accelerate before the side engine cut off, because as you can see we can only maintain our speed, we are not accelerating very fast right now. And it's also because this one is like we can choose where we will go, and the solid rocket boosters are not controllable. You can just only go forward and that's all. So we go on the prograde actually at 30 kilometers above the sea level. Our apoapsis is at approximately 50 kilometers and our periapsis is under the ground. So we are in the outer atmosphere, almost in the no atmosphere zone, but not in space. Jebediah is fine, and we just have to complete the mission. So the mission will just go until the end of the video. We have 12 minutes of mission. It's very short. In real life it's more than that, and for Jebediah it's very longer than that. So the main booster detached, we can see it just going on the ground. He's orbiting, but not really in orbit, so he will fall down on the other side of the planet, I think. This one is the second stage. We have 1600 meters per second in the second stage of Delta V. It will help us reach the orbit, reach the moon's trajectory, and I think at least break most of the speed that we need to break to go onto moon's orbit. So we are pretty stable in the right trajectory. You can see all the debris in space. It's because I choose to let the debris in space and to see how many debris are at the end of the gameplay. So I will try just upgrade my skills and get those debris back. But for now, all the debris that I can't get back for a little bit of money, because it needs to be no more than just a little bit of money, because if it's very expensive we will not crash them on the surface. And even better, if we can just reuse them or at least recover them to get some extra money, it will be nice. So we rose up the periapsis, actually at 50 kilometers. It needs to be a little bit higher, but we are at 50 kilometers, so we can't go higher. And we are in orbit, a very low orbit, but in orbit anyway. So we need to just adjust this orbit to go our periapsis above the Kármán line, and after we can go on to moon encounter. So this is nice, no problem. Moon is here. We don't have a space station right now, but we will have one on the next episode. So this next episode it's for some missions and some I think space station build. So why do we do a space station? It's just because we need science, and this one can make us science. But it's not for refueling missions and other, because I'm not used to that, so I'm not able to make that, so we will undo that. This mission is very short on fuel, so actually it's not one mission to the moon, it's two, because one of those missions is not great enough, so this one will crash, I think. So I cut and put another mission. I actually did all the calculations, all the maneuvers and other, but it's for you, it's just if it was one mission with just an explosion in between. But here we are around the moon, so the moon is pretty big because we are really close to it. We just need to brake and to go on orbit. So we are actually on moon orbit, and our periapsis is very low. We just need to go to the periapsis and brake again. So as you can see, we are really close to the moon. It's the first time that we got this close from this big thing. And if you don't saw it, we added two separate, just not boosters, but it's engines, two separate engines on the sides, the boosters, because I thought we'll need a lot more power sometimes when we need to brake very fastly and other. So this will be untouched, and they are less efficient with the fuel, so it's why I limit them, but not the main one, because the main one is very made for space and we don't need it to be limited. So all is great, all is going great. The rocket is going down, but we will have some issues with that, so it, as I said, it's not the only one mission. So we are getting pretty close to the surface, and it's here that it didn't go that well because I just turned it on one on the two boosters, so the rocket starts spinning up. And here's another mission, so I don't remember if I just cut and made some saves on the way, but I think I just made all the way back. So I think the date is it's less time on this mission, like if it was 5 or 6 days on the first one and just 3 on this one. So it's a pretty quick mission. We are at 100 meters per second, above 7 kilometers above the moon surface, and not the sea level, because moon hasn't got a sea, it's just a global global elevation, but we are comparing to normal elevation because it's a landing, so we need to be really precise. Landing gear deployed. Our velocity is at 100 meters per second. We are braking very fast, 100 meters above the ground, 10 meters per second. We have enough delta V to get back to the Earth even with the boosters, apparently. And we touched the surface, so real nice landing. We brake, but it's not useful at all. We just need to adjust the springs of the landing gear and other, but I don't touch a lot of this because I feared of this to be crashing, because I made some tests with that and it crashed really easily. So we need to make some EVA to just plant a flag and walk. It's the mission that asks us to do that, and I would have made that even if they don't ask, because it's very nice to do that on the moon. It's a lot of science that we can do, but we can do even more science on the moon by just putting a space station or making more than one type of landing, like one on a crater, one on a surface, one on a plane, and other. So Jebediah is on the moon, just back around it. It's on the rocket, so we just took some science and other, but nothing interesting. And here we are, the first step on the moon. So we just need to check his checklist, because even on the moon he have his checklist. The flag is planted, so with a little tree to just show the world that you need to be ecological. I don't have the word again, but you need to be eco-friendly. And Jebediah just wrote a little text on the plate of the flag to show to the world his interest for the moon. So Jebediah has a big smile, as you can see. He made some science back, and I was not able to take some moon rocks with me. It's not very good because I wanted to, but we can't. I don't know why I can't. I think in the game you can do this, but I don't know when you can't. So I just put some science in that and I get back on the rocket, so it's time to get back home. Jebediah, you have 4 minutes to get back home. In real life it was a lot more, but so I tried some things and other. I checked all time the side boosters because I need to detach them at the good time, and after we will have the main booster to just get back to Kerbin, because it's not Earth. I was close to say Earth, but it's Kerbin. So speeding up a little bit the time, and we will make a really close orbit, but no matter, because we have some instruments that tells us where is the closest mountain and other, so we will not crash into the surface. All went great from now, so there's no any problem until the end of the video. It's rare to not have any problem on this game. So I used the moon's gravity to get back Kerbin, excuse me, but I think with some maneuvers you can use that to just escape the Kerbin's gravity with a gravity assist, but I'm not on the right way. I don't remember. All those type of things are really complicated. I don't check it out. It's, for example, why I never made, even in creative mode, a landing on Mars, for example. I don't know the name of Mars in that game. It's Dress, I think. Don't know. So we raised down our periapsis. The connection is very low. It's normal because we don't have anything to relay the connection. We will need to make some satellites after, but our periapsis is at the right height, so let's go. I sped up the time, and when you speed the time really fast, you can just skip the way on the, I don't have the word, you can just skip being into the atmosphere. So it's why we just make another orbit. The mission took us about 5 days, not of my time, but of Jebediah's time, so it's not that much. It's a good time for a space mission around the moon. So we are breaking with big remaining part of fuel that we have, because I always take lots more fuel than we need. For example, this whole stage wasn't necessary. So yes, it's why I use very big rockets while some YouTubers just take a little one. It's a problem of efficiency, but I made some science with the remaining science on the board, and this is why I can afford a space station just after, because some modules are very expensive in science to unlock, so this is why I don't have them right now. A little time warp, and we are in the higher atmosphere, so the rocket starts burning. Why I kept all, I don't know. I don't know why I kept the whole stage behind that, but we will unplug that later. Oh no, it was just because I made it. This mission just keep this stage. I never made any decoupler or other. I just forgot the decoupler. You can see that I put a heat shield, but not the decoupler with it, so this is a little problem. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment or leave a like. You can watch my other videos, and especially the next one with the space station. So we have a nice landing end, so everything goes great. It's the first time we made on another body around Kerbin. The next time we will do, it will be around Minimus, because I want to go around Minimus. So thank you for all, and see you the next time.